I really hope that wasn't the first bit of the stream.
I was going to that's the most classic SMB start you could get. So I mean, we're in fighting form right now.
First bit of my stream, I've got my
3 years and we haven't even slowed down. That's how we go.
You're right. Hello, SMB Plays. We are back with some Dungeons and Dragons. We are back in the World of Thyr. Hey there, Brendan. I know you're very excited to be here today. Oh, okay. So, I have a little bit of an intro for you guys that I will read to get the game started. However, before we fully get started, I want everyone to kind of say what they expect.
I will stay out of this conversation.
I expect absolute atrocious moments of laughter and just like off trackness that SMB is typical for.
Yes. And me rolling a lot of ones.
I expect to,
So, go ahead.
I was going to say I expect a good amount of role play.
Mm-hmm.
I expect another letter incident.
Max.
Be good this time, guys.
Good. Spoilers.
Okay.
I'm here. It's not going to be good. I promise you that.
So, for this first game, you guys will notice we don't actually have the full map or anything up on screen. We just have our tracker and chat in the corner there. And that is because nobody has any information, except for the people who do because they were there when I thought up the idea. Nobody has any information about what is going on right now.
Ooh.
Everyone in front of them has a blank character sheet. So, all right, let me read you this little introduction to get you guys kind of in the mindset of the period and section of Thyr that we're going to be working with, and then we'll start going down the row of characters. 100 years have passed since the heroes of Thyr prevented the rise of the god of ruin, Glammielove. The isolated mountain dwarves have opened their doors, and trade is beginning to flow through the kingdom thanks to the Prince Regent's brilliant economic strategies. Though the high elves remain hidden in their forest, trade has opened, and many of the lower classes are traveling outside of the realm to seek their fortune and adventure. Perhaps the greatest achievement of the heroes was the restoration of the pantheon powers. The deities of Thyr, once mortal and lost, were able to reconnect with those whose lives their divinity had caused. What? What is this sentence, past Aya? The deities of Thyr, once mortal and lost, were able to reconnect with those whose lives their divinity had caused them to become detached from. That's a confusing sentence. This is what happens when I write at 3 a.m. Now the age of peace has begun, but there are still those who believe that only they hold the true answers to the universe's questions. So there we go. This game is going to take place 100 years after the events of the previous game.
Woo! Well, that means I'm dead.
Patchy.
Now I'm
You don't know that.
Heroes
Bum,
never
bum,
die.
But...
To be determined.
I wonder if any of our characters are descendants of the originals.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay.
My car is
So-
too dense to die.
See, here's the thing. I know what happens to Makar.
Gar!
I know what here's the thing. I know what happens to Makar, and I guarantee you nobody was expecting that to happen.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Okay.
I know a lot of stuff about Makar that no one else knows.
That is
Oh.
true.
Does
That is
Makar
true.
get married and have a kid?
Okay, that I would not see coming.
Actually, yeah, he does.
What?
Yeah.
A second is failed to get him. How does he have the attention span?
Oh my god.
Anyway, okay. All right, we're getting off topic.
Yes.
Sorry.
Back to the present. All right. So, we are going to go in order for now to do the character introductions, and we are going to start with Davkas.
Oh boy.
Davkas,
Uh-huh.
I want you to roll a d8.
Okay. Let me see if I remember how to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want you to roll a second d8.
Oh god. Okay.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Oh
So,
lord.
Davkas,
Uh-huh.
you, Davkas,
Yes.
are walking to work one day.
Wait, like
Yes, you, Davkas, are walking to work one day.
alright.
You decide that before you you decide that before you go to work, you want to go down to the little cafe that's on the corner over by the lake. Or it's a river. Sorry, it's a river. It's not a lake. We
That's
don't
fine, yes.
we don't have lakes in
Details.
Massachusetts.
Details, it's fine.
As you are walking down the sidewalk,
Mm-hmm.
you hear a lot of people screaming and jumping out of the way. You turn around to see what's behind you, and there's a truck.
Oh god.
You close your eyes.
Oh no.
You close your eyes to brace for the truck.
Oh no.
But when you open your eyes, there's no truck. You're standing in a wooden room. It is full of terrariums and potted plants. And you're holding a watering can. You're standing by the window and you're looking out over a rustic, fantasy-style town center. The road is cobblestone, all the buildings are made of wood, and in the center is a wooden platform stage area.
Okay.
Yeah, you are the best.
Oh god, here we go. Alright.
You know that your name is Tybalt.
Okay. How do you spell that?
You can now click on the character sheet for
Oh.
Tybalt.
Oh.
My pen is not working. Why is my pen not working? You were just working. I need to take notes, pen. Okay. Tara.
Oh.
Tara,
Uh-huh.
I would like for you to roll a d8.
Okay.
Tara's gonna die.
Tara, I would like for you to roll a second d8.
I'm dead.
Tara, you are you, Tara, are currently trying to unpack the last of the boxes from your move. You've got one room left, but the room is just full of boxes. So you're moving boxes.
Accurate.
You're moving boxes around, trying to organize things as you go to make sure that you're not making a bigger mess as you go, but it's a slow process. You decide that you're going to sit down, you're going to take a break. It's hydration time, you need to take a drink of water. When you sit down, you're not sitting down in the box-filled room in your house anymore. You're sitting down on a hard wooden stool. In front of you is a counter. It has a wooden top, but it has a glass front. And arranged in various order are strange items. There are gemstones, there look to be fancy wooden sticks. Behind you are shelves with even more curious things. One of the glass cases behind you looks like it's got a unicorn horn in it. You try and reposition yourself on the chair because you're uncomfortable. You realize that you've sat on your tail. You look down at your lower half and you have a robe that is clean and well tended to, in a sort of light crimson color. It has no discernible decoration on it. It is just a regular robe, but you notice that instead of boots resting on the ground, you have clawed feet, and behind you is a scaly tail.
I knew I needed to sleep last night. What happened?
You realize that though your name is Terra, your name is also Uajit. So you may now click on, it's the one all the way down at the bottom.
I got the weird name. My name's Guy.
Alright. Mac, I would like for you to roll a d8.
That's the diamondy one, right? Not the hexagonal one?
Yes, I believe
Okay.
so.
Third from the right.
I missed.
It's all good. I
That's-
was literally
that's-
counting sides.
That's a good start.
That's a good start. All right. I would like for you to roll another d8.
Aye. Come on, hit it inside the thing. There we go. Ooh,
Oh, nice.
goes-
Okay.
there goes my luck for the rest of the evening.
Okay. Mac.
Mhm.
You, Mac, are in your office right now.
I am.
You have been working very hard all day doing
Sure.
you have been balancing between doing some audio recordings and outlining a new book that you've had an idea for.
I like how
And
productive you view my life.
well, everyone keeps picking over work.
Mean.
So, you look around and you realize that your desk has accumulated a lot of clutter.
This is true. This is actually very true.
So, you decide that you're going to clean up for a bit. So you gather
That's
up all
probably
the
most true. Okay.
you gather up all of the food trash and the notes and all that sort of stuff, and you stand up from your computer desk. And you realize that you're not at your computer desk anymore. And in fact, what's in your hands is like a crudely carved cutting board, and it has a hunk of cheese and a hunk of bread and a few other little bits and bobs, and you're standing in a very sort of nice, clean cafe sort of thing.
Okay, so downside, strange things happening. Upside, freeze cheese. So I don't see the problem
And
here.
you're not sure what you were doing originally, but you realized that you were looking for a table to sit down and eat your lunch at. And you're aware that your name is Mac, but you're confused because your name is clearly Brennan Fletcher.
Brennan Fletcher. Aye, aye.
All right. Selah, will you please roll me a D8?
D8.
Yay! Will you please roll me a second D8? Cool. Selah, you wake up in sort of the mid-afternoon. You decided to sleep in, and you get up because it's a little dark in your room, and it's time to greet the late morning, early afternoon. So you go over to your window, you open the curtain, and you notice that outside the window, over by the tree closest to what you can see, there's some wildlife. So you decide, you want to get a better look at the wildlife. So you kind of lean against the window to see what's going on. But unfortunately, when you do that, the casing of the glass comes loose, and you feel yourself falling forward, and you don't know, there's a rise of panic in your chest, but then you quickly jerk awake, and you're no longer in your bedroom. You are now sitting on a barrel, and you've just woken up. You look down, you look around, and you are sitting just kind of on a barrel in the shadows between two buildings of a rustic fantasy setup. There's a city, or not a city, a town center in front of you, and it's, not quite bustling. It's a very small town, but people are going about their daily lives. There's the mild confusion of just waking up, and you're very confused. You feel like you were a man named Selah, but that's utterly ridiculous because you're clearly a dwarf named Fargrim.
Second one down on the list.
My character selection is different than your character selection, but yes, it should be the second one. Fargrim Hammerstone. There you go.
That actually is a pretty accurate time for me to wake up too.
Nice. X.
Turns out Aya's got cameras in everybody's bedroom.
No, I don't. Shut up.
And you do. I'm scared.
All right, X, I would like for you to roll a D8.
That one. Come on. There we go.
Oh no.
Oh, I gotta be careful how I do this one. X, I would like for you to roll another D8.
Okay, then don't register that one. That's fine.
Yeah, you have to roll it in the chat, I think, or else it doesn't go. Please re-roll your D8.
Okay.
This is probably gonna be happening for a bit. I'm probably gonna ask people to re-roll. Okay. So, X,
Hmm.
you have had a good long day of doing your work stuff at your computer thing, and you've been having a bit of sort of abdominal distress. Maybe it's something you ate.
Most likely.
Maybe the dinner you had last night isn't really sitting well with you. You and Tara went out and you tried a new restaurant and it was a little sketchy. But you haven't really had too many issues. Just a bit of gastritis.
Yeah,
Just
the usual.
just the usual stuff. Nothing like super crazy. But you have been developing a bit of a cough. Maybe it's just the acid reflux or something. So, in between your finishing up your work and maybe deciding to stream a bit of flight sim games stuff, you have a bit of a coughing attack.
Yeah.
And as you squint your eyes closed with the effort of the coughing, when you open them again, you're not in your office. You are, in fact, in what looks to be a medieval fantasy-esque gym.
Oh, not this again.
and there's tons of dust. There's just like dust all over the place. And you look in front of you and you realize that it's very dusty because the practice dummy that you were punching has fallen off of its stand, broken open, and it's kicked up a bunch of dust and everything.
Take that.
You go to wipe the dust and dirt off your face, and you realize that you have these metal padded gloves
That's gonna hurt.
on the front of your sorry, I started reading my notes while trying to talk. That didn't work out. So the gloves have metal on the backs, and as you're looking down, you see that you're also wearing a sort of medium thickness leather shirt that is it provides like protection and support and everything. And you are confused because you were about to play your flight sim game, and your name is Eccentric, right? But
That's what it says on my driver's license.
But you've always known that your name is Althea.
That's also on my driver's license. That's interesting.
Pretty sure that's illegal.
Althea. I'm sorry, I said your name wrong. Althea.
Eh.
Okay. Let me see. Fallen.
Yo.
I would like for you to roll a d8. 4. Sweet. I would like for you to roll another d8. 6. Could you please re-roll? 7. Yay!
Got
it.
Oh no.
I like this.
I don't like that laugh.
I like this character. This is one of I like the design for this character. I'm very excited. I hope you guys like this character. Okay. Fallen. You, Fallen, have the day off today. So you decided that you were going to go see a movie. You're very excited. You've been waiting to see Thor. What is it? Love and Thunder? Thunder Love?
Yes.
Thor 2 Electric Boogaloo, this time with
That
Loki.
one, yes.
So you're very excited. You've got your popcorn, you've got your slushy drink of indeterminate flavor. It's flavor blue.
Blue.
And you're very excited. And you go in, and it's one of those theaters where it's a very, very large sort of arena setting sort of theaters. And you're going up some of the stairs, and then you feel your cell phone, which you had just absentmindedly put in your back pocket while trying to pay for your ticket and everything. You feel your cell phone slip out of your back pocket, and it begins to tumble down the stairs. In your haste to try and save your phone from being broken, you yourself lose your balance and start to tumble down the stairs yourself. But before you make contact with the stairs, you jolt into the sunlight, and you are standing outside on a cobblestone roadway, like a cobblestone street, in a rustic fantasy village. You look down at your hands. You're holding a basket full of yellow dandelions, and in your other hand, you are currently holding a dandelion out to a woman who looks a little startled that you've jerked, but she takes the dandelion from you. She bows her head, and she goes into this large, intricately carved doorway. It's the fanciest building that you can see around you. You are clothed in white linen robes. Your hands are gloved in the same white linen, and there are what seem like oddly placed patches to sort of thicken the gloves in certain places. But you remember that these are your gloves that you use to cover up your talons so that you don't hurt any of the patrons that come through on their way to their daily prayers. Your younger acolyte, who joined just a few months after you, looks over at you and says, Osu, are you okay? And then you remember, oh yeah, your name is Osu. And you reach up out your head and you scratch your tanned, sandy colored feathers and just sort of give a light giggle, but nod your head.
Oh man.
I'm going to go ahead and give an actual like physical description if you want to put this into your character sheet now. You're a mourning dove. You're a bird folk. You're a bird folk who is the color of a mourning dove. All right.
You would.
Of course I'm going to put a mourning dove in the game. Okay. Glammy, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would like for you to roll a d8. 8. I'm worried no one's going to get my favorite kind of death. I was very excited for this one particular one. Okay, please roll another d8. 6. Could you please re-roll?
Mm-hmm.
1. Could you please re-roll?
Okay.
5. There we go.
Cool.
Okay, Glammy. You are at work. And you are about to be on your lunch break. And so some of your coworkers have decided that it's time to go to lunch. And there's a new sort of cafe area that
Does it make sense?
there's a new cafe area that everybody wants to try out. So your supervisor, boss person is like, sure, you're going to all go test out this place. We will put it on the company card, and I want you guys to, report back and see if this is something that we can work on incorporating into meetings or something. So as you guys get to this new cafe, there is this large display window that has this really nice bench, and they've got like a little flower planter in the front, and it's a little busy. So everyone has to sit and wait. It's about a 15-minute wait. So you sit down on the bench and you lean against the window to look out at the flowers and, see if maybe they're real or if maybe they're just kind of decorative fake flowers. As you lean against the window, you don't feel the window. You just feel yourself falling backwards. And as you feel yourself falling, you go to catch yourself. And you sort of, fling yourself forward, and you catch yourself on your knee. Your plate metal covered knee with your gauntlet gloved hand. At your side are various pouches with a few things in it. From your belt hangs an emblem that you don't really recognize, but you are definitely familiar with it. And on your back, you have a sword and a shield, and on the shield is that same emblem. And you're a bit confused because what happened to the cafe? Instead, you are sitting in a living room like area with a table, and there's some books, and on top of the bookshelf are a smattering, an array of plants that your brother insists on keeping in the living room, even though you've asked him numerous times to please not leave his plants all over the living room. And it's so weird. You thought that you were a human named Glammy, but that was silly. You're a gnome, and your name is Kellen.
I absolutely love gnomes. This is great.
Yay! I'm so glad.
Nice.
So Kirei that unfortunately leaves you with only one character left, so I hope you're okay with that.
Excellent.
Okay, I would like for you to roll a d8.
Okay.
I am not going to allow that, and I am instead going to change it for my favorite one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, whatever it is, 5 is now the ultimate death.
5 is now the one that I want. Kirei, you finally, after months, have a full weekend to yourself.
Freaking yes.
No work, no on call, no emails that you have to answer.
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
You walk into your favorite bookstore, you've got yourself an iced coffee, you're ready. You're ready to get those new releases that you have been meaning to catch up on.
Yes.
So you walk in and you go to the section where the books are that you need, but gosh dang it, the book that you need is on the top shelf.
Well, this is so typical.
You look around, you try and see if they've got one of those rolly ladders, but of course some little preteen dirtwad has rolled the step stool into the manga section and is now using it as a lazy boy.
They're ruining my Belle fantasies.
So instead, you set your iced coffee down on like an end table that has a display of like flyers and stuff. So you set your iced coffee down and you are reaching up and stretching, trying to reach the top shelf so you can see it. You can just barely, if you could just like scissor grab with your first 2 fingers and get the book, you can get it down. But as you put all of your weight onto your left tippy toes and just stretch the furthest you've ever stretched, you feel the bookshelf that you're grabbing onto begin to wobble. And then something in it comes loose. And an avalanche of books begin to fall towards you.
Oh my god, this is the best death ever.
It's my favorite one. You go to protect your face. Please just don't break my nose when you fall on me. But instead of books, you're standing in the corner of a dusty room. You're sitting, in fact. You're no longer standing. You're now sitting at a table. And in front of you on this very sturdy table are a wide array of various swords and knives and other kinds of weird implements that you clearly were not sitting in front of before. To the right is some various bottles of liquids and little tins of cream and stuff. And you're holding in your hand a sword. And in your other hand is a cloth. And you're very agitated. Because, gosh dang it, Althena broke another practice dummy. And now you're going to have to clean the swords all over again. Because they're just coated in dust.
Sorry.
Freaking Althena.
What?
Again.
You look over at Althena, and Althena is confused and looking at their hands.
Mm-hmm.
And just sort of confused in general. But you yourself also have some confusion because there was an iced coffee? Whatever that is. And you feel like you were doing something else, but you know that your name is Chiral, and you were cleaning the equipment for the gladiator like fighting show.
Ooh.
So you may now click on Chiral.
Hey.
And I believe that's everybody, right?
Mhm.
Yep, that's all of us.
So you have now figured out what is going on. In front of you is a blank character sheet with your name on it. What are you gonna do? Question mark.
You
Find
did
these
say
people,
I was a
right?
dwarf, right? Fair
Yes. Yes. You in fact, you know that you are in fact a hill dwarf who grew up on the plains outside the mountain strongholds of the Dwarven Kingdom.
Is a mourning dove like a Kenku, an Aarakocra, or
Aarakocra.
Aarakocra? Okay.
Aarakocra. So,
I just need to know if I could speak.
yes. No, you can totally speak English. You can totally speak Common. Before we start doing this, where you're trying to figure out a bit more about your character, I would like to have everybody go down to the knowledge section of your character sheet, and I would like for you to add knowledge meta.
Where is this at? I don't remember.
Knowledge section.
Yeah, I can never remember where this is at.
So
There is.
it's in the skills. It should be in the skills section
Okay.
on the right.
Skills. Oh, I
Oh,
think we just have to add a skill.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Oh.
there should be.
Yeah, there's a little green plus next to the skills.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you should be able to do knowledge, and there should be a line, and then I would like for you to add meta.
I know all of the metaverse.
I'm
Is,
sorry.
is there?
Knowledge meta or the skills called meta?
It's. I see what I've done. I see what I've done. No, I wrote down in my notes 3 5 character sheets instead of 5 character sheets. My bad. So knowledge colon meta,
No, that works too.
and it will work as a typical knowledge skill like 3 5 would.
Yeah, I can't. Do you
So
remember
this
what?
is set in 3.5.
No, it's set in
No,
5.
it's
It's set in
Okay.
5th edition. This one particular thing I messed up in my notes.
Okay.
Let me do
It's
a
a homebrew.
quick.
It's fine.
It's essentially a homebrew. I'm really sorry, guys.
That's
Oh
fine.
no, you're chill. I was just making sure because I'm like,
I wanna
believe-
make sure I give you the right.
So
I'm
which
gonna-
stat is it tied to?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
gonna be
that's
my
what
question.
I'm looking at.
Okay.
My guess is probably intelligence.
It is
'cause a lot of
tied. Yeah, it's tied to the intelligence stat.
Okay. You just have to click the stat a couple times to find it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna say most of the ones that were carryovers from like knowledge, like history and stuff like that, are all intelligence.
Yeah. So here are the general rules that I would like for you guys to take into account. So, one, if you're not happy with the sex or gender of the character, you can change that. That's freely changeable. If you want, you can go ahead and put in what you want. Just let me know. Otherwise, you can play the character the way it was randomly generated. Rule number 2, if you're just absolutely completely unhappy with the character that you randomly got, you can make your own character. But you won't really have a lot to do this game if you don't want to play that character.
Got freeze cheese, so I'm good.
What was Osu's gender? Female?
So, Osu today is feeling a little masculine. But there's not really any way of telling how Osu's gonna feel later.
Ah, got it.
I figure gender is pretty easy for you to, sex is pretty easy for you to figure out on your own with your character. And
Do it in your own time.
eventually you'll figure out the sex of your character. But gender is kind of, I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable if you don't want to play a character being presented a specific way.
What about Kilian?
Give me a second, because I've got a couple more information bits that I want you guys to know. So I had you all add knowledge meta. There is not really any way. Oh, Davkas, you've gotten me all self-conscious about how to word this now.
I'm sorry.
For this game, there will be no such thing as metagaming. If you are familiar with isekai, then you know what's going on. You are also your character. However, I'm not gonna let, Althea build an airplane, and Tybalt's not going to be able to construct electric circuits. So that is what the knowledge meta role is for. It's just going to determine how much at that point in the role you will be able to remember from your time on Earth. It's also there in case, for example, whoever was playing in Heroes wants to remember something about Heroes. And it's like, oh, I remember we had this one conversation as a party, and if I could remember it right now, I could use it as information. That's also what that role is for.
And that would also apply for anyone who watched all of it as well.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Selah, if you have knowledge of Heroes of Thyr,
Hope that you went through and watched all of that.
Hopefully,
yeah.
hopefully at the time, you're able to remember something. But also remember that, everything just feels ephemeral. Your brain, you're having trouble grasping stuff in your mind.
Hence the role.
Hence what the role is for, yes.
Okay.
So, I'm hoping that with this first sort of encounter, which I am using a pre-written sort of scripted game, so that you guys can figure out what all the information in your character sheet is. Okay, so if you guys are ready to go forward, we'll do a brief Q&A, and then we'll get started with the rest of the story bit. We've got about another hour of game tonight. So is everybody does everybody want to continue, or does anybody want to change up what they have?
Question.
Yes.
What is my life story?
That's... You know,
I didn't think it was gonna work, but it was worth a shot.
you remember having a good childhood, but you don't know, like, which childhood it was.
Good news.
You're definitely human. You think?
Oh,
You think? Maybe?
I'm human adjacent.
You don't know. I mean, you've got rounded ears, and your hands look like human hands. Granted, they've got leather gloves on them right now because sometimes these polishing potions can wreak havoc on the skin. You just
Question mark.
you just recently got a really nice padded armor shirt. So, it lifts and supports in all of the right places that it needs to be. And your new leather pants, you finally were able to get tailored pants this time, so your nice juicy booty. So yes, you are a female human fighter.
I am a well-endowed female human fighter. Thank you very much.
I'm a little embarrassed that I said juicy booty.
That's going in my notes.
Okay.
Juicy booty background.
It's beautiful.
Is my character sheet supposed to say my class?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Is my character sheet supposed to say my class?
Nope.
Don't believe so. But you know that you're a cleric. You've always wanted to help people. Even when you were just a little hatchling. You always had a gift for helping and healing people. It's just sometimes you got to be careful because you've got these, sharp talons and a beak and just a cute little dark gray beak. So you just have to sometimes be careful with the squishy humans. But you quite early in your youth decided that you wanted to devote yourself to the ways of Tuppence, the goddess of healing.
Tuppence.
And so you took on the mantle of a cleric of Tuppence. You think about this as you continue to hand out dandelions, which are the symbolic gift that everybody gets when they come to the temple. Yes, Tara.
Am I a dragonborn?
You are a dragonborn. You you unfortunately didn't grow up in an area that allowed you to go to Corelink. You always wanted to study at Corelink, but being a rural mage from a rural mage family, you were homeschooled. And in your bag, you have a leather bag that is sitting next to your foot. In your leather bag, there are various quills and different colored inks and all kinds of stuff. You have a wand in your bag. And you also have a thick leather tome. And inside the tome, it is largely empty pages. But that's okay, because this is for your notes and your spells that you will eventually get. in some of the pages, you can only catch snippets of the words. On 2 pages, you can read the whole page. Not only can you read the whole page, but you can also decipher the diagrams and everything else. You know that 1 page is for the spell Ray of Frost. You're very happy when you learned that first spell. It's one of your favorites because it's great for making ice cream. The other spell on the page that you're able to decipher is one that you're still working on, and it's you haven't quite mastered it, but that's mostly just because it's brand new to you, and that is Mage Armor.
Oh boy.
In the back behind you is your new quarterstaff that you got as a sign-on bonus for working in the store. All right.
Thank you.
I should have made a list. I should have been going down the list. Who has not pondered their new existence yet?
Eating cheese.
I have
You
not.
are eating cheese. So hold on. So Mac, you are indeed eating cheese. You did find a seat and you took off your bag, which, you know, has the stereotypical traveler's accoutrement on it. It has, you know, it's got a bedroll and like standard general stuff.
Useful. Bit of pack rat, but it's what my desk was like.
So, oh, wait, I accidentally clicked on the wrong one. There it is. That's what I need.
Still less cluttered than my desk was.
So you also take off your longbow and quiver and set that on the chair.
Not cursed, right?
Not cursed. It's
Yes.
definitely not cursed. In fact, this is the longbow that you and your master carved together before you went on your first tracking expedition to prove that you were able to travel and adventure on your own.
Hopefully that was a sufficient test.
You also have a short sword hanging at your waist. So it is safe to
Flexible.
assume you are a ranger.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Not that kind of ranger.
Glammy, I'm sorry, I interrupted you to tell Mac a thing about his cheese. What would you like to know, Glammy?
As much as you can give.
So, Glammy and Davkas,
Oh no.
let's go ahead and do. Let's go ahead and have you guys go
Hey,
at the same
Can I
time.
ask one last question first?
Yeah.
What am I? Like what race am I?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're human.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, you are a human male. So Glammy, you were going to get ready to head to the big gladiator show. You were going to help with the crowd mitigation, make sure nobody tries to hurt each other or tries to jump into the arena. Last week there was a guy who got really angry that the fight went a certain way because, you know, it had been reported that he had been maybe going a bit too hard on the gambling, and so he really needs to just cool his jets. So that's why you are fully armored in your gear for your own protection in case, you know, somebody decides to get violent if the fight doesn't go the way they want. Or if the crowd gets too bloodthirsty, because honestly, these are all meant to be exhibition fights anyway. They're just entertainment. You, all of the, furniture is unfortunately human-sized. So you need a step stool for a lot of things like the cabinets and the shelves that are built into the walls. Your brother, with his fancy pants spells and everything, you know, he doesn't have any trouble reaching stuff from the top shelf with his flowers and vines.
Oh no.
It's
Oh boy.
my brother too.
In fact,
Oh boy.
is your brother, is he still asleep in his room?
Probably.
So Glammy, you are a gnome paladin.
It's the guessing paladin.
Yeah.
I think I know what that makes me.
I've played a gnome paladin before. This is amazing.
So Glammy, you have a brief flash of wanting to protect people who are weaker and downtrodden. Your twin brother, in fact, was often viewed negatively by the other kids because he enjoyed plants and flowers. So you decided to devote yourself to protecting those who needed your help most. And so you joined the how much information do I want to give you here? You joined the essentially like the National Defense Force. It is a not a military, but it is a group of paladins that are funded by the King of Glamstill, who protect and work with local sheriffs and police and with the military to kind of help people.
Okay.
I'm hoping I'm getting that across. Do you know what the Shinsengumi is? Kind of like that, but not corrupt.
I think I know what you're getting at, but I need to look at that list again, and I might pick it up.
Okay. Also, everyone, you can assume that you have. I hesitate to make a lot of assumptions without double checking, but gear-wise, you can assume that you have the basic gear for your class, that is a safe assumption.
Yeah.
If you have anything special, like for example, Giga has a wand. Osu doesn't know what he has right now. He's got dandelions.
Where's the squishy humans?
Am I a rogue?
I'm sorry, who
I'm
asked
also
me that?
Curious what I am.
Oh, that's Kirei.
Oh, Kirei, you are a fighter.
I'm a fighter.
You are a fighter. You have... Selah, you are a rogue.
Ha.
You're sitting on your barrel in the shadows, just wishing you had some work. Your previous job ended a little prematurely, and oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bump my mic. And you're just kind of stuck here for the moment, but you don't have a job that you need to go to next, so you're just kind of hanging out. This town's really peaceful. Kirei, if you look behind you, you will see your favored weapons that you like to use during the fights, which is a javelin and an axe. However,
Yes.
however, you know a lot about different weapons because you have spent a lot of your time training. You are ostensibly an athlete. You have been training since you were very young to do fighting at a professional level, and you hope that one day you're going to get out of the small league of a town and you're going to end up in one of the big cities, and you're going to be one of the most respected entertainers in the city. Because
I always knew I was a star. I'm so glad you all now know I'm a star. So good job. We're on the same page.
All right. Has everyone else? Does anyone else that I might have missed?
I think there's a couple
Me?
of us left. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think X Terra. I can't remember if you fully went in depth with Selah, and then myself.
Okay, thank
You
you.
already did me. You already did
Oh,
me.
okay.
Okay.
So X Selah
So
and me.
yeah, so Selah, aside from the stuff that I just told you about, you kind of by happenstance ending up in this small town for a little while, just until you decide to leave. Do you have any other musings that you would like to investigate?
I honestly don't know. Anything that you feel is worth mentioning, I'll definitely take that.
So just to confirm everything that I said, and I'm sorry if I'm just sort of jumping around. I should have made a better list for the second half of this. Selah, you are a hill dwarf rogue who is named Fargrim Hammerstone. You have been adventuring for maybe a few years, and you're enjoying it. You're just kind of going with the flow for the moment. That's why you've ended up in this particular town. It was the closest one to the job that you had just finished. The beds at the inn are nice, and it's kind of a peaceful town. There's not a lot that goes on.
I'm enjoying the town.
Yep. Davkas, you can hear your sister getting ready in the living room to go and do patrol / guard duty for the gladiator show tonight. You have been tending to your plants, as you do. You mostly, let me see. Now that everyone has their characters assigned, my list has jumped around. You, in the corner, you have your gardening tools. You have a small hand sickle, and you have. Oh, I hope you're okay, Selah.
Yep.
Maybe
I forgot that I had my cord wrapped into my.
maybe you should have picked a different barrel to sit on. Maybe that one was loose. And then you've got a gnome-sized scimitar, which is a two-handed. No, I'm sorry, it's a one-handed.
Okay.
You mostly use it as like a machete. You're not super talented with a sword. But you know, the sharp end goes really fast and hard on the person who's trying to hurt you. You know that much.
Right.
Poke them with the pointy end.
Right, poke them with the pointy end. But your sister insists that you keep it with you when you go out to explore the hills and forests around town. You also have a soft leather book that you keep with you at all times, in which you've got tons of scribbles and writing, and some of it looks familiar. Your handwriting is still terrible.
Thanks for that.
But in your book, you have a list with descriptions and individual little doodles on how to do it, and you notice a page for shillelagh. Is that right? Did I say that
Okay.
right?
I think so.
Animal friendship and fairy fire.
Okay.
You mostly use fairy fire for when you lose track of time and you have to get home before your sister gets upset with you.
Right.
Did I?
God, I need to write that down.
I need to Google this to make sure I wrote this down right.
That's okay.
I don't think shillelagh is a spell.
You said fairy fire. What was the other one
Animal
besides
friendship.
that? Animal friendship.
Animal friendship.
A shillelagh used to be a spell. I think
Shillelagh
it might
should
still
be a druid spell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yes, it is in fact shillelagh.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
I'm not going to tell you guys how I spelled it in my notes, but it's not spelled shillelagh. All right. And I believe X. Are you the last one?
Apparently.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay. So the dust has settled. The practice dummy is laying on the ground. You're a little frustrated that they don't frickin' make these more sturdy. You have requested it multiple times. You're just gonna keep breaking them if they don't get the better ones. But they
don't make them like they used to.
They keep cheaping out on you and getting the discount ones. You take off your headband that has kept your hair out of your face, and you kind of use it to wipe off the sweat on your face. As you take off your headband, you get it kind of caught in your ears a little bit because you have the long ears of a wood elf.
Interesting. These are new.
And here's the one. Here's the one that the thing that you may or may not wish to change if you want to. You're actually very satisfied with the new athletic binder that you got, because now you are able to keep your silhouette nice and boxy and sort of square, and now it doesn't matter what people think they see, because they're gonna stop underestimating you.
Ooh.
So if you would like, you are Althea Maestrate, you are a Wood Elf monk, and you are non-binary. Unless you don't want to be. Unless you want to, decide that.
We'll see.
Yep. Pretty much, so I tried to do it pretty evenly, with sex and gender, because I wanted to make sure everyone got represented. And you guys kind of rolled matches pretty well.
You sure you don't have cameras?
No, I just know.
I'm excited to be a rogue.
So
I'm a little worried.
Oh, so I was wrong in guessing that I was a male. Okay.
I mean, do you want to be a male?
No, I prefer.
Okay.
They're easier to play.
Yeah, that, aside from your race and your class, if you want to change your name, or if you want something that you're going to be more comfortable playing, just let me know. I'll write it in my notes.
Do I bring back an old character? That's the question.
Okay.
Do that.
So any more musings, self-exploration and pondering that you guys want to do?
I'm curious, out of character, if we all happen to be in the same town.
So I will reveal, yes. You all are in the same town. And you know this because everyone hears from outside. Selah, that was a good lead in to the actual beginning of the story. You get a gold star.
Gold star.
Can gold stars be converted to inspiration?
Maybe.
These are the good questions.
Okay, so
Okay.
everybody hears from outside of the building that they are in a commotion. People are yelling and screaming, and you can tell that it's coming from outside of the town, but it's quickly moving inside the town. People who are shopping in various places, they're in cafes and everything, are kind of dropping what they're doing, and they're looking around very confused, like, what's going on? And into the center of town comes this group of men and women of various ages and races, and they're yelling about this one just traitorous guy. He's here to confuse all of us, and he's the reason why our crops are failing, and he's the reason why my daughter is sick, and yeah, it's his fault my dog ran away. And everybody is yelling, and in the center of this mass, a group of 3 burly farmer men jump up onto the platform, the raised wooden platform at the center of town, and in their hands they have, they have their arms wrapped around a tiefling. He is wearing a purple traveling jerkin. His white hair looks like it was at one point in a braid, but it is now disheveled. His skin is a grayish, almost blackish color, and from his forehead are two thick horns that sweep along the back of his head in a very graceful arc. He has around his neck a couple of delicate looking chains with some various medallions and stuff, but he doesn't appear to be richly adorned. He's just got a few niceties about him, but they are tangled and everything. One of the farmers steps forward and begins to yell at the crowd, demanding, "Bring the sheriff forward! We've caught the scoundrel that has been plaguing our farmlands." And the crowd around begins to cheer, and there are various cries of, "Yeah! He is the reason why my chickens got sick!" And people are yelling out random grievances that in no way could be connected.
Do they not know of the great hero tiefling Makar?
Oh lord.
Oh no.
Here we go.
Oh lord, I knew I shouldn't have given you guys a meta skill.
Here we go.
From the sheriff's building, like the sort of makeshift police station, a second group of farmers bring out a one of those things that you put your head and your hands through.
Box.
Stocks, yeah.
Yeah, bring out the stocks, and they put him in the stocks, which are quite heavy for him because he looks like he doesn't do a lot of heavy lifting in his everyday life. And as the crowd begins to quiet down, you hear from the tiefling yell out as loud as he can, "Please, please, I just got here. I haven't done anything that I've been accused of. I swear to you. I'm just looking for otherworlders. I promise you, I bring you no ill tidings. I come from Coralink. I'm just a researcher." The farmers once again begin yelling at him. "Liar! You're a liar! You're totally evil! Look at the state of you!" Various things. Eventually, the police officers, the peacekeepers, begin to come out into the streets and try to start breaking up the crowd. Now, what would everyone like to do? So can everyone see the chat list that you guys are in alphabetical order?
Chat list.
Like on Discord?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So for the moment, let's go in that order. We'll just go from top to bottom. Is that okay with everybody? Or we can go from bottom to top, X, if you want to go first.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Whatever
I'll
works.
end up in the middle.
X, you go first. I don't want to go first.
I was hoping that I would be towards the end.
Okay, so we'll go from top to bottom. Sorry, Davkas.
Oh, damn it. Okay, fine.
All right. What is everybody doing?
I'm gonna go and try and figure out what my sister is doing. To be honest.
Okay, so you go through the door, the only door in your room. As you open the door, you see the living room of your house, and Glammy, you are there, so the two of you can interact with each other. I'm sorry, Fallen, we're going to skip you for 1 second.
Sorry.
All right, I accidentally dropped my dandelions and I'm trying to pick them up.
Okay, so Glammy and Davkas, you guys can talk to each other now.
What's going on out there? Do you know?
I don't know, but I'm about to go find out.
Yeah, I'll come with you.
Or I guess we walk out the door.
Okay, so you guys make it down to the city center. You're not that far. It's a very small town. Glammy, Kellen will get roped into helping to keep the peace. You're working now. So that's...
I figured that would happen.
Yep, that's what you'll be doing. Davkas, what will Tybalt be doing?
Knowing me, I will probably be trying to like stay out of people's way and like, you know, trying to make myself as small as possible to not draw attention to myself.
Okay.
As I get dragged away, I look at him, give him the death stare of like, you better stay there.
Well, I'm not gonna move.
Okay. Fallen, what will Osu be doing?
After picking up the dandelions with the gloves and making it a little hard, he starts making his way to the commotion.
Okay. So you will notice that as you walk, the crowd will, once they notice that you are walking towards them, they'll kind of move aside. It's not in a kind of like disgusted way or in a negative way. It's just oh, here is a cleric, here is someone important. Let me move out of their way. They're clearly here to do something. Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Does Osu, or do I make it in time to hear the shouts the tiefling was making regarding looking for otherworlders?
Yes, you will be able to hear that. In fact, in the timeline, we can assume that everyone was able to hear that. Everyone, like the party. All the player characters would have been able to hear that.
Yeah, I'll wait till the timeline catches up then.
Okay. Kirei, you're next. You are still in the training room. You're not that far from the city center. Again, it's a small town. Really, the biggest buildings in the town are the sort of temple/hospital and the sort of arena area. But it's think of like a Renaissance fair jousting area, or like a football field or something.
Okay. So she's thoroughly pissed off at Althea already. And now there's like a whole bunch of noise happening for no good reason. So she's gonna kick open the closest door to her and storm out of it.
Okay. Let's go ahead and have you and X go at the same time, since you guys are in the same location. X, what would you like to do?
Give a swift kick to what's left of that target dummy, and then follow out the door.
Okay. Its head comes off, because of course it does. Stupid cheapo dummy.
Correct.
You guys are able to make it to the square in time to see the tiefling be dragged up onto the platform area. You hear what's going on and everything. One of the police officers approaches you as if to, kind of forcefully keep you back. Visually locks eyes with each of you. There's a sort of flash of recognition on his face, and then he kind of does that thing where he throws up his arms and he backs away and suddenly decides he's going to go talk to somebody else.
Yeah, you better go.
All right, Mac, what are you doing? Let's get you into the city center.
Oh boy.
You have thoroughly enjoyed your cheese board.
Oh, I'm putting the remainder because I got interrupted on this one. I'm putting the remainder of my cheese in my pack just for later.
Okay.
I know this is good cheese. This is
okay.
good cheese.
Yeah, it was
I'm
it was
gonna go ahead and
money.
check to see what's happening.
Money well spent. You're glad you decided to come to this particular town on your
I don't even remember
travels.
spending the money, but I'm thankful I did.
All right. So as you're eating, you hear the commotion and you see through some of the small windows. You see like the shadows and the crowds as they pass. What would you like to do?
I'd like to go out and join the crowd, trying to keep that sweet spot between keeping an eye on the tiefling, but also not getting close enough that I grab the attention of the police trying to keep the crowd under control.
Okay.
And then if I'm out there, I kind of want to ask one of the random passerbys, just kind of, crazy day, eh? So, what's the story behind all this?
Okay. So I'll go ahead and
What's all this then?
Yeah.
All right. What's all this then?
All right.
So, do you want to? So there is a clear visual distinction between a farmer person and a city person. Just kind of in their general dress, you're able to discern. Do you want to stop a city person, or do you want to stop, or do you want to try and stop one of the sort of
From a general like just glance, does one seem a lot more irrationally angry than the others do?
So for all of the city dwellers, minus people who look like, they're walking with purpose, they seem to just mostly be confused. There seems to be either general confusion as to what's going on, or some level of anger. The ones that seem to be the angriest are the ones that are closer to the staging area, or the ones that are closer in the center. The further out you get with the group of farmers, the less angry they seem to be, or at least the less shouty they seem to be.
I'd like to target one that is not like has no clue what's going on, but is not quite as angry.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Everybody, stop what you're doing. It is time for a hydration break. Everybody drink some water.
Glug, glug, glug.
Because I'm really thirsty and I want some water.
That cheese, it just dries you out, man.
So you got a
There we go.
reward. So.
But
Okay. So you managed to stop a random farmer. He is standing on the periphery. He seems to be a young gentleman, maybe a preteen or just entering his teen years. And he shouts at the appropriate moments when he's supposed to shout, but for the most part, he's only putting in enough effort to make sure that it looks like he is agreeing with the crowd.
That seems like the best kind of target for this.
All right. So you have stopped this young man. What would you like to ask him?
Quite the disruption to the meal, eh? Any idea what's going on with all this?
Oh yeah. My dad says that this guy was walking around asking really strange questions about everybody, like really weird questions about like our farm animals, and he kept writing stuff down. Like he would just kind of stand in the middle of our fields and write things, and my ma says that that's how evil wizards cast their spells. Pretty sure he's an evil wizard. Yeah, that's gotta be it. It's gotta be an evil wizard or something.
What kind of questions was he asking about your animals? Just so we know what kind of stuff he's working on here.
Well, I mean, like I don't really know. I was milking the cows at the time. And so I didn't really talk to him directly, but he was just asking a lot of questions about all sorts of things, and he just wouldn't stop talking. He was constantly asking questions and watching what we were doing in the farms and stuff. Just really like odd.
Is it unusual? Is it kind of a strange thing for anyone to be interested in your kind of work?
Well, I mean, we don't typically get anybody walking around, like, following us as we work. That is kind of unusual.
It's always interesting to have people take interest in what you're doing, isn't it? So, how did they catch this guy, do you know?
I mean, we just grabbed him. He was there. He was looking at some sheep, and he kept muttering to himself, or maybe he was muttering to the sheep. Do you think wizards can talk to animals? That's weird. I don't know. I don't really know what was going on. I just, he was just kind of being weird. That's
Man,
that's what all the adults were saying.
Kind of crazy, that if this was an evil wizard and all that, just your average everyday farmers could catch them so off guard,
Well, I don't. Look. I don't know. I've never met a wizard before. I'm just a kid. I just milk the cows. My older brothers are the ones who really. I don't know what kind of accent I'm going for here. My older brothers are the ones who really like take care of the farm. I just do what I'm told, and he just kind of throws up his hands and his shoulders, and he kind of gets a little kind of looks at you sideways a little bit and kind of starts to like sidestep back towards the farmers, and when a big roar goes up, he joins in, and he completely turns his back on you to start yelling with the crowd again.
Well, keep up the good work, young man. I'm going to try and get as close as I can to this tiefling without actually getting, not enough that it grabs people's attention, but just kind of get prepared in case something goes horribly awry.
Okay, yeah.
Don't judge tieflings, my guys. They're cool.
You're not a tiefling anymore.
I know, but my heart still goes out to them.
All right. Selah, you saw this all go down from your comfy sitting spot in the shade of the buildings. What would you like to do?
It was such a nice, peaceful day, too. All right, let's go see what's going on. I want to go out and try and find a spot that's kind of towards the outside edge of the crowd, but close to the front, so I can see what's going on. And I want to try and keep an eye on the crowd for anyone who reacts when he says something about what'd you say? It was otherworlders.
Otherworlders, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see if anyone else reacts to that when I hear it also.
Okay.
And I also want to kind of keep an eye out for anyone who's not specifically angry, who might be the adventuring type like myself.
Okay. So you definitely will see a ranger who's in like full travel gear. He's got like a pack on with a bedroll and everything. Other than that, you'll see a few police officers making sure that like everyone is they're trying to keep the citizens of the town, separate from the farmers. There is a full-plated gnome paladin walking around, trying to get in close and keep people from fighting each other and everything. But that's pretty much it. Do you wanna just hang back and see what's going on, or did you wanna like do any kind of action or something?
I'll hang back, take mental note of the people who I see that stand out, and take mental note and be ready to kind of intermingle if it seems like that would
Okay.
be the appropriate thing.
Okay. Tara, that leaves you. What would you like to do? You hear a ruckus outside, and you see a crowd pass by the storefront. They are yelling and screaming, but you can't really tell what's going on because it's a very thick crowd of people that are moving through.
I'd imagine that I heard the guy say something, or the tiefling say something about Coralink.
Mm-hmm.
That perked my ears. Coralink? What are they doing from Coralink? So I'm gonna grab my staff and my bag and go running out there and try to get through the crowd to be like, do you guys even know what Coralink is?
Okay. So everybody, you guys will see are you trying to push your way through the crowd to the...
Yes.
Okay, so everybody, you guys will see what color are you? What kind of dragonborn would you like to be? It's not in my notes.
Purple.
Sure. I'm purple.
There's
Is there a purple one?
I have no idea. I'm just throwing things out there. Don't listen to me.
I mean,
or a frosty color?
I mean like standard D&D colors. So you've got the 5 chromatic or the 5 metallic.
Dragon colors.
What, where?
Okay, so the chromatic colors are black, green, blue, red, and white. The metallic ones are silver, brass, gold, bronze, and copper. Did I already say copper? Pick okay, it doesn't matter. Pick a metal.
The white.
Okay, so you guys see a white dragonborn with a quarterstaff pushing their way through the crowd, yelling something about Coralink.
I make my way to block.
Okay, Tara, you find yourself being stopped by a short gnome, but they are very intimidating in their full plate armor.
You don't understand. I have to help them. They're from Corlink. These people are being crazy.
Ma'am, I understand everything is going crazy, but you just can't keep marching up here. You yourself could get harmed.
Oh, I'll be fine. Do you not see how big I mean, you're very intimidating for being a gnome, but do you see how big I am?
I'm just doing my job, ma'am.
I appreciate that, but please let me help this tiefling.
Okay, Osu, I'm sorry. What? Go ahead, Glammy.
I was gonna say, as I'm kind of doing this, I kind of sniff the air a little bit, using a divine sense.
Okay. What
Do I
are?
smell any? It depends if it's something evil or not.
Okay.
So is it like a really bad smell, or is it like a good smell?
So, you.
Towards like the.
Yeah. So you have. Do you have divine sense? Hold on.
As a paladin, I do.
Give me a second. I'm looking at your sheet. Which one are you? Which one are you? There you are. Okay. Nope. This is DM muttering. Ignore it. Okay. It's not in common. Okay. Nobody understood that. Okay. Huh? So exactly. You use you use your divine sense, and you are getting a lot of muddled things. You're getting a lot of carryover from the crowd, but you don't specifically sense any kind of like ill will coming from the dragonborn in front of you.
Okay.
All right. Osu, you have a question.
Yes, I wanted to know if the crowd continues to part for me up to the tiefling.
So at one point, at some point through the crowd, you will hit people who are too preoccupied with yelling and screaming about bad things that this person has done.
As a white dove version of a Aarakocra, do I have a flight speed?
I don't believe so. You have where is your speed?
I can't find my sheet's like empty.
Yeah, everybody's sheet's empty.
Okay.
So don't worry about that.
Divine sense.
Yeah. So that's an example of of the meta gaming. So Glammy already knew that as a paladin she would have that. Mm-hmm. So by attempting to use it, it basically just confirms that she has that. So, for example, if you wanted to try to fly, you could see if that happens, or you could just ask me. And I don't. You are not capable of flight. You are a bipedal Aarakocra. Kokra? Aarakocra?
I've always said Aarakocra.
So. Okay.
I would like to, as I reach this crowd that's no longer parting, I'd like to, extend my neck a little bit, ruffle my feathers, and give a little clear the way.
Okay. So the as you get through to the people, you will attract their attention, and they will have like a look of like, oh, how dare you, but then it's quickly replaced with like a look of recognition. And they will kind of slowly get out of the way. I should also tell you, you just have like really fluffy, feathery arms. You don't have any like big back wings. Does that make sense? You're not like a full flying bird.
Yeah, I'm just I'm trying to make my way all the way up to the tiefling.
Okay. So okay. Does anybody have anything else that they want to try and do?
Can I approach Tara?
Sure. Tara, you are approached by a kind of, yeah, you're approached by Mac. I'm sorry, I'm starting
There's no
to
way
run
to
a little.
describe it.
Yeah, I'm starting to run a little low on my elaborations. Been using a lot of my mental powers.
Question.
Yes.
When like I look at the gnome and then as Mac approaches me, does there seem to be a familiarity about them?
So there is a familiarity with the gnome in that you know her because you live in the same town. You know that it's Kellen, you think is the name. It's a little weird. You're getting kind of mixed signals in your brain because there's a gnome in front of you and they have plate mail, and Tara herself is very excited by everything that she's seeing. But Giga is panicking.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yes. That's a mix of emotions.
Yeah. You've got so you recognize that this is the gnome paladin that frequently works in town.
Okay. And then looking at Mac.
You've never seen this human before. He's new. He does not live in the town. And also, Kellen, so Glammy, you would recognize the Dragonborn as the girl who works at the magic shop.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not as rough with her currently.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Mac.
Yeah, Mac, go ahead.
I'm trying to think of how to word this.
Just say it.
Sorry about my tall, scaly friend here, but I believe that, well, everyone's a friend until they stab you in the back, you know? But I believe that we might be able to come to help you out in some way.
I have really wide eyes at you now because you said stab in the back.
And I just kind of look like, I kind of look up and I'm just kind of like, I'm not really hurting her and stopping her. This is just the local shop maid. She can get a little crazy sometimes.
Okay.
I have
go ahead.
a feeling that this gentleman you have your town has so lovingly brought up on stage before them all. I believe he was looking for someone, wasn't he?
I believe so. I just got out here myself.
I can understand that. I was having a delicious meal just before this. It's hard when you get interrupted, but I believe that
Speaking of
You know-
getting interrupted, you guys now, if I leave you be, you'll just keep talking. While you're talking, Osu gets up on the stage. Alright. Everybody's attention is now drawn to the stage.
Hold that thought.
I kind of, Osu, in a bird-like way, seems to almost perch on the stage, head tilting slightly to the left, looking at the tiefling, and Osu says, "Who are you talking about when you say other worlders?"
Yay! So, when the crowd notices that you have stepped up onto the staging area, the farmers will quiet down. They all recognize you as, one of the clerics. Also, the only Ara Cochran in town. The tiefling, he's in the stocks, and he will try and look up at you, but unfortunately the angle at which his horns swoop back and kind of curl up a little bit over his head is making the stocks very uncomfortable, because obviously they were designed for humans. And he says, "My name is Aurel. I am a researcher from Archive in Corlink. I am researching what I have deemed otherworlders, people who are from different planes or different means of existence. I'm sorry, I was not trying to cause any problems. I'm just a researcher. I've never seen farm animals before." And he's clearly getting very tired. And he's very sad.
Osu would like to lean his head way down and have one eye look at Aurel, was that his name?
Aurel, yes.
And in a very hushed tone, Osu says, "Does Thor, love, and thunder mean anything to you?"
The tiefling looks at you very confused, but he kind of slowly realizes what he thinks you might be talking about. I've never heard those words before. Please help me. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was just taking notes and drawing. Please help."
Before I keep you.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, does anyone else want to?
Yeah, I was about to say that the sheriff, now that the crowd has calmed down, the sheriff is coming up to the stage, and he is starting to kind of thin the crowd out. And I do want to add that we are slowly coming to our time for this game session. Okay. So as the sheriff is parting the crowd, and as the cops are getting everybody taken care of, he will climb up on the stage himself, and he will say, "I have to sneeze."
It's a straight thing to say on stage.
So he will get the attention of the crowd, and he will say, "People, friends, ladies, gentlemen, please, let's all calm down. I will take this gentleman, and we will put him in a cell for the night, and we will figure out what is going on in the morning. Please return to your homes. I hope, David, I hope you didn't forget to bring the sheep in before coming to town. I'm sure all of you have a lot of work to finish today. Please return to your homes. We will have more information in the morning. Thank you. The sheriff will look over at you, Osu. He will give you a small nod, and he will say, "Thank you, Sir Cleric, for your help."
Thing the clergy can do to help.
He will sort of shake his head listlessly, and he's like, "No, he kind of leans in and he says, "I'm just gonna get this poor boy away from this crowd. We'll let him sneak out tomorrow. They'll forget this all happened. They just want someone to blame for all the crap that's been going on recently."
Osu would like to kind of whisper to the sheriff.
Okay.
Just whisper to him. As you get him out of the crowd, I might have some questions.
He looks at you a little like, okay. And his response will be, of course, good sir. I'm sure he may be in need of some assistance from the good clergyman of the town. The sheriff will point out into the crowd. Glammy, you see him pointing and snapping at you. And he'll be like, Kellen, please disperse the crowd.
Already on deck.
Thank you. He's very tired and grumpy response.
Snap pointer fingers back to him. I got you.
And so several of the other police officers will help the tiefling to his feet gently. They do not remove the stocks until he is well into the building. And that, for now, will be where we end the first game session of Mysteries of Thyr.
Yay!
Definitely
a mystery.
For sure.
Necromancy sheet.
Alright, as for everyone in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Be sure to keep an eye on the SMB Plays Twitter as well as my Twitter account, and we will have more information for when the next game session is. Also, I might drop a few hints about some fun stuff every now and then, maybe. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We will see you next time. Bye.
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 Bye.